Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas.
Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it is, September 12th of 2022. My ex-wife is cooking me a hamburger, so you know this is not going to be a 2-hour video. Two people. I got a comment from two people about my question about the audio, and they both said the audio was okay or was satisfactory. To me, you know, with the number of views I get, whatever, 2 is enough for me. So I'm going to stick with, well, I'm saying that, and then I'm standing here telling you I want to make a change. I'm going to go with the fact that I can use the Avery Media USB webcam. Use the microphone on it. It's a webcam, and I haven't been using a webcam microphone for a long time. But every time it seems like I touch this computer or make any kind of a change, not any kind of a change, I make a change and something happens. Video goes, not video, the audio is out of sync with the video for, just all kinds of stuff. So I'm telling myself, leave it alone. Don't touch it once it works, even if it's not 100% the way you want to, leave it alone. And having said that, I've got this, and I've used it from time to time, Sound Blaster card. And my nose is going to start to run here. And I don't know where. Oh, here's a little bit. I keep toilet paper for my nose. So I'm gonna hook this into the system, and probably will mess everything up and probably start over again. What I wanted to mention was, well, one thing was the news, something to do with the news, and which gets me into politics, which I know none of you want to hear, so you can click and go someplace else. I've mentioned this before. I worked hospital security for 30 years. One of the hospital security directors I worked for him 5.5 years. I sort of liked him, but man, I did 4 grievances against him and won all 4 of them. And then it got where he was driving me crazy. I just could not understand, why would he, why does he lie about a whole bunch of stuff? He was also racist. That was part of my, problem with him. But I just couldn't understand, why he was the way that he was. Because he was very smart. But on certain issues, it was just, you know. But then, here, after all these years, Mr. Ross has passed away. After all these years, with the arrival of, President Trump, and then people looking at him, and books and articles and everything else, then it was like, wow. Because they listed, the mental problems and also, of course, Trump is stupid. But finally, after all these years, I saw that, what his problems were. Except he was smart, and Trump is not smart at all. So maybe that's, both of those situations were bad. One or more of my videos I talk about the hospital was on fire. And I mean, we've had fire, you have fires at big buildings and places like, you probably don't want to hear that hospitals occasionally have a fire or something, but I was on the second floor and I discovered the fire, and I went through the procedures, called the operator, code red, location, I give the location, I pulled the fire things, which shut down, which sounded the alarm, which also rings in down at the desk, and goes to the fire department, and and shuts down air handlings, closes fire doors automatically. I did all these things, and I was on the second floor. And now, what I think I've said, sometimes you have a small thing at the hospital. Well, no, if you have a fire, it's bad, and especially bad if you have even at a hospital. But Mr. Ross got a call, and he didn't put it out over the radio to all of us. He got a call, at his desk from a department head, and he always wanted to show off, and he went on down there, and so he was on the third floor, and the fire department didn't arrive at the location of the fire where I was, and a plant ops guy was there about the same time. He was fighting it with a fire extinguisher. It was a bad fire in a bad location. And then Mr. Ross, the director, he called me and said, Jim, no, the fire's here on the third floor. It's a little motor smoking underneath, the refrigeration unit for the gift shop flowers or something. And I won't redo it, but I was emphatic with him. No, sir, I'm at the scene of the fire, heavy smoking fire at this location. And then he goes, no, it's, and about 3 exchanges like that. Then I called direct to the parking lot attendant, outside, parking lot attendants outside, and said, bring the fire, because I knew, part of my job, I knew where the fire units arrived, when they, what they would be, and I called and said, bring them through, and they brought them through. He did everything like that, and anyway, so if I had known that he had this problem that he has, I would have just moved on to another, I'd have just quit and gone on to another hospital. But I couldn't understand, I couldn't understand it. I had no comprehension of anything like that. I knew about mental illness, but I didn't know about the kind of, Anyway, I was watching a YouTube video the other day. forget which one of these YouTube videos it was, but there's this sports writer, I guess very popular, and I mean knowledgeable and all that type of stuff. And I watched, and I forget which one. He was on a book tour, probably might still be on a book tour, and the book is Commander in Cheat, and it's illuminating and sort of unbelievable. And I'll put the link to especially if you're into golf, you may want to watch these interviews and things, or you may want to purchase the book. I'll put the link to purchasing the book. So now, what else was I going to? And I guess that there's a new book coming out. Let's see. Where is that? There's a new book coming out where it talks about where Trump was, after he lost the election, he flat out was saying that he was not going to leave. No way would he ever leave the White House. That he says something about that he was not going to leave since why would he leave when he won the election? And then these things of him committing a felony, multiple felonies, a whole bunch of felonies, taking classified information. And forget, if you're thinking that the president can, then please just go someplace else. If you think that he can take classified material, or that he can declassify material, or that he can take stuff that actually it's the law, it's stuff that in the White House, all that type of stuff, all those documents, everything is to be preserved, and it is not the property of the president or the vice president or anybody like that. It's the property of the United States government. And this whole thing with him taking this material and apparently hiding it and moving it around, and for what reason? Now he's asking the judge, don't allow the Department of Justice to do any more reviewing of this situation or whatever. The entire thing is just unbelievable and frightening and crazy. And are we ever going to get out of this situation? It's just, and making sure whatever we have to do to clarify things, to make it clear that nothing like this ever happens again. Because once it's happened, and plus you have a tremendous number of people out there, his followers, who think, oh yeah, it's all right for him to refuse to acknowledge that he lost the election, and it's okay for him to do this and to do that. And unfortunately, those people are voters. And I'm not suggesting that we have some type of, because they did that in the South, poll taxes and tests to keep blacks from voting, all kinds of stuff. You can't, we should hopefully learn from our past and try to make things better for the future. Anyway, my hamburger might be ready here pretty quick, and I don't want to miss my hamburger. I mentioned that I hope I don't break everything. Gonna see if I can get this, because this will improve the audio if I get it working the way I have adjustments, Sound Blaster adjustments and stuff, and that will make the audio coming out of the USB USB webcam. Thank you very much for watching. Giving you a view of the cameras. there again, thank you very, very much for watching.